Good afternoon, everybody. This is the follow-up video from 2 weeks ago I had my surgery, and then up to today, which is now the day after going back to my appointment. I was tempted to make a video at the 1 week mark, but I decided instead to make it a video of just before my appointment, or the 1 day before my appointment, I mean. So I thought I would go ahead and lead this into showing you that now. Hold on one sec. Hi guys. I noticed a while back and over this last 2 weeks that a lot of people are asking me if I could show the cast that I'd had from post-surgery a little bit better, which in reality, if you could see, it's like this. Kind of looks like Hellboy's. I can't turn my wrist really much. That's all it is. It's, from what I can gather, it's most likely where they covered the incision site with gauze and then wrapped my wrist and then put an additional half splint thingies, the half splint brace on the inside, one on the back side, one on this side, and then wrapped those together and then just double wrapped them. Because, like, I made sure to tell the nurse I'm kind of accident prone, so I was like, if I'm not getting a hard cast, y'all might want to wrap it well. And I think that's what they went ahead and did. So far it's been helping pretty well. So we'll see what happens with tomorrow. Okay, so as you can see, in just a minute I will show some pictures, at least that I was able to get between. I went to the doctor's office for the thing, and as I showed you on the last little clip, the post-surgery casting that they took off, turns out all it was just a bunch of gauze, and they took a couple pieces of the fiberglass inner hard cast, and that's what they did on the sides to keep it sturdy, and then wrapped that all in gauze. So now, at least, as I'm going to show you, I did get my stitches out. They had to take those out, and then they said that I was getting a hard cast again for 2 weeks. I went back with the blue one again, just a typical one to the wrist. Thankfully, this time I get above the elbow. And so, if anything, he's saying that I would be in this for 2 weeks, and then would need to start I can go right into a brace for 4 weeks, in which then I start flexibility training. And he is saying that I wouldn't start strength training until after that, but by June I've got to be back into work, so at my probably knowing me, I'm going to have to try my best to do both flexibility and strength training again all in 1 month so I can get back to work. So I can't keep missing work. So, but yeah, I'll show you the pictures. Now, clearly, if anybody else who's ever had a cast at all in your life, you know how bad your skin gets dried out, itchy, all of that. Clearly, as I mentioned on one other thing on my Instagram, I think once she got the things off of me and we went to radiology to get new x-rays, that's then when, while I was waiting, I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take this time to go ahead and try to wash my arm. So doing between just gentle scrubbing and all that, because it's probably the only time for another 2-3 weeks that I'm going to actually have the chance. So I just gently used some of the scrub they had in there, and I was just like, just scrub, scrub, scrub. And I couldn't believe how much was coming off my hand. If you've ever played with glue on your hands, it looked like that. I do admit it's kind of gross, but it's true. I mean, anybody who's ever had a cast and had to stick a coat hanger down into your arm because your arm is itchy from where your skin is drying out and you're not getting constant moisture and water, stuff like that, you know. But yeah. So I think, as you saw based on those pictures, after doing that, drying it off, and while I was waiting, I noticed I was looking at comparing my wrists, and where it did seem like on here between the radius and the ulna, it looks like this one is a little far out compared to my right wrist, which obviously was non-broken. So as they all keep saying, well, of course you're not going to get the same wrist you had that God gave you, I'm like, okay, I mean, but they do the reduction at the hospital, and what it made me wondering or worried about too is if maybe it wasn't reduced enough. As we noticed, they didn't completely line up the arm, and what I noticed based on those little medical scans I showed, this one, um, it looks like seriously you can tell where it doesn't appear that they actually re-broke the bone to reline it up properly. They just went ahead and put the plate and the screws in, and that's something that kind of worried me. It just makes me think that perhaps the bone isn't completely lined up all the way, but he said if anything it just looks like it could be just a little bit of swelling for right now since I just got my arm out of that. And I hadn't taken any medicine because I wanted a better idea of what it looks like. So it's something, and with the possibility as I'm supposed to be going out of state in 2 weeks, it does look like my mother is suggesting I stay in the hard cast so that way I won't get it knocked around or anything. So at least in that way I just have to decide which one I want to do, keep it in the cast or not, so that way I could go ahead and start getting flexibility back into my wrist. I gotta decide what I want to do. So I hope this video was okay, guys, and I hope you guys have a lovely weekend. Bye!